What's up, everyone? It's Russo. I hope everyone is doing well. Please subscribe here and please follow me on Instagram at RussoLifts. In case something happens to this channel, you can follow, message me, interact with me directly, and there's daily content on there. Hope to see you guys on Instagram. What's up, everyone? It's Russo. I hope everyone is doing well. Gotta get that ASMR microphone of my monotone testosterone voice. Siri didn't quite catch the monotone voice. I'm gonna leave that in there. Fuck it. So, high dosage, RAD 140. What do I think? What are the side effects and the current progress results so far? I'm pretty shocked. Okay, my body has recomped extremely quickly with the RAD and test base. Now, granted, the test base was still there. You know, if you go watch the first injectable RAD video, and if you guys are new and like this is the first video you're checking out of this log, basically I documented what I looked like before, and then this is the next one as I step the dosage up higher. So please go watch the before video to see what I'm talking about as far as the recomposition effect that has taken place. And by recomposition effect, I mean I lost around 5 pounds of water weight because I was utilizing 677, and I normally hold about that much water on 677. A lot of that came off, and I thought I would start losing weight pretty dramatically, but my weight's still around 228, 229, 230, depending on what I ate. And there's a big side effect of going higher dosage, which I'm going to talk about. But this is pretty much the same weight. Like, my body fat definitely dropped without my weight dropping that radically, which it really hasn't been that long. Like, this is kind of crazy compared to oral rad. I just feel like it took a lot longer for me to notice oral rad compared to the injectable. And you'll see in the posing footage, which I hope you guys go watch the first episode. I'll link it in the description below, as well as in the pinned comment below for you guys to go watch what I looked like going into this versus right now. But the recomp has been crazy. So I stepped up the dosage a bit, and people on Facebook were asking, did you try intramuscular or subcutaneous as far as the injection? And they wanted me to try sub-Q, and they wanted me to talk about PIP, post-injection pain, and all that stuff. So there is slight PIP. I'm not going to lie. I'm not going to bullshit. Slight PIP with intramuscular. I went ahead and gave sub-Q a shot. There is more PIP with sub-Q, but it holds pretty fine in the fat. It's nothing like an oil lump sitting there. It dissipates pretty well, but you're injecting into fat. There's going to be way more PIP than intramuscular, in my opinion. So yeah, that's my input on that. I think you could do both. So if you're on, TRT only, and you only do like little sub-Q shots, and you don't want to do IM, you could get away with going sub-Q for sure with the Inject rad. So biggest side effect of going higher in the dosage, and I didn't go that much higher, honestly, just because of how powerful it already was at the form oral dosage, meaning I can't talk specifics. YouTube, I really have to watch what I say on YouTube. I can't go into specific dosages. So when you look up the standard dosage on Google of RAD, that's pretty much what I was pinning. And with the oral log, I think I have the oral log posted, which was an old series a couple years ago now that I made that log and documented that one. But I went a lot higher with the oral, so I wanted to get up higher with the injectable, because basically the normal dosage already felt like the highest oral dosage I ever played around with. So I wanted to push it a little bit farther, and that's where I ran into the issue that I run into with S23 as well. And I'm really wondering how injectable S23 will fare, but started going flat. So, for those who don't know, when you increase androgens, you increase your metabolic rate. Now, RAD normally doesn't increase my metabolic rate that bad. S23 increases it dramatically to a point where I can stuff my face all day with carbs. And when I look in the mirror, it looks like I'm flat and I didn't eat any carbs all day. I started running into that problem with RAD as well, the Inject. So, yeah, that's a big concern. So you really have to find the sweet spot because you could end up looking worse if you can't calorically compete or keep up and compete with the androgen. That's why I want to make a separate rant video on, people think higher dosage, I'll look better. Higher dosage, that's the best. Just go higher dosage. Your metabolism might increase so high that you'll actually look worse than you would if you just utilized the normal dosage to where you could actually keep up food-wise. A lot of people don't understand that you need to keep up food-wise when you enhance yourself. Your body can process and assimilate a lot more nutrients and is partitioning nutrients at much crazier rates than when you're natty. And I've run into this issue multiple times, S23 being the one I remember the most, but Tren as well, where I can't keep up with the food to continue to fill my muscles out, and I start to look like garbage and I look flat. So I ran into that issue and I backed the dosage back down to my sweet spot I found. I'm still consuming over like 300 grams of carbs a day easily, and I still look a bit flat, but the test base is helping with the nitrogen retention, and obviously dropping the dosage allowed me to keep up better. But looking at this footage, man, it looks night and day in my opinion, my physique, compared to the first episode I just posted. And I didn't even post it that long ago. Like, this was crazy watching this occur. And this is also because MK677 was dropped. A lot of people didn't think I was holding water, but yeah, I was holding water, and it happened. I dropped it. It wasn't all fat, but I'm really not that lean, guys. I'm probably, if I had to estimate, around 13% body fat, and you're seeing all this separation come out, the density come out, and veins everywhere, and none of that was there when I first started, because bloated mess flying around, diet wasn't on point, and still had test base, still should have looked pretty decent, but I didn't. Added in the injectable RAD for a quick recomp, and boom, this is the result. So yeah, that's what I have to say. When I pushed the dosage even higher, blood pressure increased dramatically, so I had to back it down because of that as well. So if you have high blood pressure already, definitely wouldn't really recommend RAD in my opinion, because it does affect my blood pressure more than, a lot of other androgens. But the dehydration effect did not really go up. It's still around the same. Hair loss, I definitely think, will be a concern, as it was with oral RAD. So about the same side effect there. My body temperature has increased, so my body temp did go up for sure. So definitely need to monitor yourself with a thermometer as you find the sweet spot, in my opinion. But other than that, the aggression didn't get worse. I'm starting to get better. It always, like, when RAD hits me, it's like, I have to start catching myself from snapping at everyone, because yeah, it affects me, and this is why RAD isn't one of my faves, because I constantly have to bite my tongue and be like, that's the RAD talking, or I have zero patience. So it didn't get worse as I went higher up, but that's probably one of the biggest side effects I note, and the biggest takeaway I take from RAD. It's good in the gym, obviously, for getting into your workouts and taking it out on the weights, but with a long half-life, like, you're dealing with that all day. And if you're already high-strung, like I'm a really chill dude, if you're high-strung to begin with, yeah, it's not probably going to fare well for you. But yeah, overall, I think these are game changers in my opinion, because you know it depends on the blood work. So if the blood work proves it to be healthier, and I saw a comment last video that there was someone testing RAD only and they have gotten their bloods done, so I'm really interested to see in what that shows, because if it's less toxic and you're saving a pass through the liver and you're getting greater oral or injectable you're getting better oh my god, you're getting better bioavailability with injections, obviously, than passing it through the liver, because it's non-methylated, meaning you're going to lose a lot of bioavailability with the oral. It could be a game changer, and this competes with a lot of the injectable hardeners, in my opinion. I would like to see someone with some crazy genetics utilize it and see what they can get out of it. But really, it hasn't been that long, and I've already completely recomped and look completely different from the first episode. And if you guys watch my logs, it normally takes a lot longer for stuff to kick in, but this started working right away. So as far as fat burning and recomping goes, this is no joke. Training wise, I'm still getting back into it. Again, I really wasn't strength training that hard when I was traveling around. I was just trying to just put blood in my muscles, try to do a little bit of strength training, but basically just move blood around and nutrients around to, stimulate. But back into hardcore bodybuilding training and trying to get back into strength training for the winter. I'm going to do one more bulk blast like I was telling you guys in the last video. So trying to get my central nervous system back to where it was. As you saw, I was struggling shoulder pressing the hundreds, which is kind of sad for me, considering those should be easy. But like I said, strength really, in my opinion, is all about central nervous system adaptation, and my central nervous system will catch up. It's like I have the strength, I have the muscle power to do it, but when I start applying the power through my movement pattern is where, my central nervous system's not completely used to the heavy weights again. So that's what I'm working on diet wise. I am increasing my carbs, trying to keep up with the androgens, but I was going to carb cycle until I went higher, and I noticed that, well, I will look flat 24/7 if I do that, and I'd rather recomp, gain a little bit of weight if it's all going to be pretty much lean gains, in my opinion, because RAD really doesn't hold any water for me personally, whereas LGD turns me into the Michelin Man in a matter of a week and a half. RAD, complete opposite for me. So not really too concerned about the higher carb intake. But yeah, that's the goal. This training session was arms and shoulders. A lot of people ask me what I do for my arms. Basically, I like going slow down and then hard contract up with a peak contraction squeeze. And I never let the tension out, and I go slow down. I don't really have specifics. I obviously want to hit both heads of the tricep, both heads of the bicep, get hard, heavy tension for density on them, as well as pump as much blood into them. So I just have a list of exercises that I switch around, or I'll try something different. I'm always trying to change it up, do something new. I got these tricep handle attachments from Lift Tech Fitness. You can Google Lift Tech Fitness. I got these during the Enhanced Athlete 1 week transformation. They're great. I really recommend these, honestly, because you'll see what I mean in a second, but it's basically a really high quality tricep handle to where you can pivot the handle down at the bottom to get more activation from your triceps, and then you can also hold these little tiny balls. So I'm not even gripping the handle, I'm gripping the little ball things. I normally use these for face pulls for rear delts, but if you just grip the little balls, as a lot of steroid users know about little balls, you will get a great contraction. Like, it feels like it's all on my bicep, versus if I would grab the handles, my forearms would start to take over the movement. Great overall attachment. I just keep it around in my gym bag, and I mainly use them for face pulls, so I'll grab the balls and it helps me isolate my rear delts. Great. And you can see this is much more heavy density set. So that's what I do. I don't have any secrets. It's all about getting the most blood in there in the muscle as possible, as well as continuing to progress in strength with arms. You really need to find the training frequency of which you need to hit arms to promote growth. Again, if you're hitting arms all the time, you might not be giving your arms enough recovery, or if you're not hitting arms enough, you might not be giving your arms enough stimulus. Arms have always been very difficult for me to grow because of the length of my arms, as well as my muscle insertions being long. I don't have those full bubbly arm insertions. They're very long, meaning I need to put extra amount of time into my arms. But once my arms are filled out, big, complete, they will look pretty ridiculous because of the length of the arms. So arms and my chest are my main things I'm going to try and combat in my next bulk blast. Chest being, the main concern. My chest is lagging behind everything else pretty dramatically, and it just has to do with my insertions, as well as me just benching incorrectly for so long. Basically, I was so focused on benching as much as possible, so my front delts and triceps began to become the primary movers. It became to a point where I could close grip 315 for the same amount as I could regular press 315. So chest has been a sticking point for me. But if you go back, watch all my videos, you'll see my chest has come a long way. And I attribute that a lot to all the incline dumbbell work I started implementing last bulk in the winter. I started chasing incline dumbbell like crazy, and that really helped my chest out. So basically, I'll do incline dumbbell work or incline barbell work, and then I'll put as much blood in my chest as possible, again focusing on contractions. Here is more posing footage. Again, my weight is around 228 to 230 pounds in the morning, depending on the food intake the day before, and I estimate my body fat to be around 13%, so probably look pretty good around 198 pounds, but I'm 230. So I will be doing a competition. I want to compete in classic physique. I'm going to be documenting that, so stick around, stay tuned, and I hope you appreciate the honest bodybuilding content. Please share me around, because YouTube throws me no bones for being this honest. Trust me. I swear my videos don't get recommended. Every once in a while, I'll notice a video take off, like how my skin got destroyed on steroids video. They loved that video. They gave me 40,000 views with that video. But, it's biased content, or it's a biased platform. So I appreciate everyone, all the OGs. You guys are awesome. I'll see you in my next one.